Iranian student strips to protest hijab harassment, and now she's missing. The latest challenge to Iran's strict mandatory hijab laws unfolded dramatically at Tehran Azad University when a student, identified by some with the name Ahoo Daryaei, was reportedly assaulted and harassed by Basij militia, a paramilitary wing of Iran's Revolutionary Guard, for improperly wearing her hijab. After militia members allegedly ripped her headscarf and clothes, leaving her bloodied, Daryaei responded with an unprecedented act of defiance. She stripped to her underwear and walked through campus in protest. As Iranian-American activist Masih Alinejad described it, quote, she turned her body into a protest, stripping to her underwear and marching through campus, defying a regime that constantly controls women's bodies. The incident, captured on video by onlookers, ended with Darye being taken away by plainclothes officers to an undisclosed location, while university officials later claimed she had suffered from, quote, severe mental pressure and had a mental disorder. A claim that has been met with skepticism from supporters worldwide who are demanding answers about her whereabouts. So this was a huge story this week. This was trending all over Twitter. And I'm very excited to talk to Armin about this because Armin has very unique insight because he is so in touch with our Persian Atheist Republic community. For those who are not aware, we have an entire branch of Atheist Republic just in Persian, and we are one of the most influential atheist communities in the Persian language. Um, so, Armin, please tell us what you know about this because there's kind of contradictory information coming out in English. And we should also just watch the video as well.
Yeah, so this is her. Apparently, the people, uh, some people were attacking her because of her improper hijab, and she basically reached a breaking point, and she had enough, and she just basically took everything, take everything else off, and you can see this is happening, and a lot of people are acting like this is a conspiracy theory. By guess who? Who's doing it? Who's managing this?
The Jews.
There's yes, this is an Israeli plot right now. No, I'm not kidding. There's a
I
lot of
know.
most
I know
pro
you're not kidding.
yes, most pro regime content creators that I follow are considering this to be a desperation by Israel, because Israel is really worried about the Islamic Republic right now, and they don't know what to do. So they're trying to create division. They're trying to start another massa wave of protests. So they were hoping that this will spark that. They say so. So basically, they're calling her an Israeli plant, like a spy or something, that did this, trying to start another wave of like a massa revolution. So that's what they are saying. However, there's also some division between some the anti-regime people, the opposition. There's some disagreement among them as well. Some traditional Muslim ones versus the more liberal-minded ones. Most people are celebrating her, wanting to find her, protect her, bring more attention to her. But however, unfortunately, some of the opposition, especially some of the more religious-minded opposition, is also considering this to be a conspiracy as a way to make the opposition look bad. To make They think that this is she might be a plant by the Islamic Republic itself. So because they're trying to make the opposition look like they just want to get naked, and that's the whole point of the master revolution, is to bring degeneracy and nakedness, and to for the Islamic Republic is trying to get the more traditional minded opposition to not be the opposition, because like, oh look, without the Islamic Republic, this is what this revolution is about. This revolution is not about freedom, it's not about the economy. This revolution is about getting naked. And that's why if some part of the opposition is considering her to be a spy by the Islamic Republic itself. But however, I'm glad to see that the conspiracy theories are lesser compared to 2 years ago in the opposition. So like I think like more a lot of people are becoming more mature, and conspiracy theories are being labeled as Raifi Poor or Mad Gal or something, like they're made fun of, right? And I'm actually going to do a show on the Persian stream, responding to a famous person in the opposition, a religious man, who is part of the opposition, and who he is calling this a conspiracy by the Islamic Republic. And I'm going to do a stream in Persian responding to all the points that he brings up, and say why he's being ridiculous, right? So, for example, he says, why she's not immediately being arrested. She said, and the answer is that because the people who are in the university who are responsible for monitoring, they are not the same as the government officials. He says, like, when government officials come and arrest somebody, if they see something like this, they don't let you walk around like this for so long. They will be like immediately come and crush you and take you into the car. Why is the university guards are not doing that to her? And the answer is actually in the question, because the university guards are not the same as the government officials who are responsible for this. They behave differently. They have no fucking idea what to do with a situation like this. They have never seen a situation like this, right? They might be even afraid of touching her, right? So another conspiracy they have is like, why he was like, in a university people are friends with each other, why are her friends not coming there and protecting her, blocking her, covering her? That's what friends would do. And that's an idiotic take, because the university grounds are so big. um Obviously, like, her friends are not going to be like, the people there might not be her friends. This is like a very wide area. Like, that's a ridiculous point. So he has a whole bunch of other points to try to paint this as a conspiracy by the Islamic Republic, and I think he's being ridiculous. And I'm gonna on my Persian show, I'm going to respond to that. And also, the problem right now is that, they mention her name, but we're not sure if that's her name. She has freaking disappeared, right? And usually when something like this happens, the family will come and say something, right? Right now, we have a video of her ex-husband, but with blurred, saying something, but her actual family, we have nothing. So it seems like the government, the explanation might not, I'm not sure, has become, because they have seen previously that when the family come and ask for help, and it has, because the government is very, very scared of another wave of master revolution happening. So they have put a lot of measures in place for when something like this to happen, for it not to become a spark for another round of protest like the Massa. And the explanation for why we haven't heard of her family is that as soon as this news broke out, the government went and find all the immediate family, and they are basically very aggressively silencing anybody and everybody, her friends and her family, because we are hearing nothing. Usually her friends would speak out, her family would speak out, but this is radio silence. Like, we don't even know who knows her. Not only we don't know who she is, we don't know anything. Like, none of her friends, none of her family, nothing is coming out. So this seems like a very, I don't know how they're threatening the family, because sometimes even when they threaten the family, some family will like, fuck it, I'm gonna say something, right? But right now, there's the lack of information, and the lack of anybody speaking out is kind of scary, because what the fuck have they done for this to be this much silence about this? So that's worrying.
I want to ask you a few clarifying things because I'm hearing contradictory information in English. And so I
Mm.
heard that she actually ended up stripping all the way nude. And people are saying that there's a video of that. I haven't seen video of that. Then people are
Yeah, I've heard that as well, that eventually she took everything off. Okay.
uh-huh.
And I've seen blurred versions of that. So that video, I've seen some other girls were recording her, and so I haven't actually seen a video where she's 100% new. Okay, but the video I saw was a blurred version of some other girls in the university recording her, and you could hear their commentary. And they were commenting like, "Oh my god, why is she doing this? Who's this?" And then one girl commented, "She actually has a nice body." You could see like these are college girls like commenting like college girls, like oh my gosh, she actually has a nice body, and they were complimenting her and stuff like that. And then and they were shocked and like, "Wow, what's happening here?" And then and that they were commenting on her while she had this on, right? And then they all started screaming. And they were like, "Oh my god!" And they said like, "Oh my god, she did that. She took it all." And I didn't see if she took it all off, but based on the commentary of the girls, if that video is real, then yeah, she eventually, if that's real, I'm not 100% sure yet, but
Mhm.
it seemed based on that one video, if it's real, that she at some point she basically goes full naked without that.
And then there are people saying that she was arrested very violently, and then there are some people saying
Yes,
that there's videos of that, but I think I've seen videos of the arrest, but you can't really see much. So, what have you heard about that?
I've heard a lot of people that witnessed the arrest saying that it was a very violent arrest. Like it was very aggressive, very physical, and painful. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And
so we
what are
need
you
more.
seeing?
We might need a follow up on this because right now the
Oh,
information on this is
100%. Oh,
very
we're gonna be following
yes.
this. Don't worry about that. But so, Armin, you talked about some of the reactions of people who are on the opposition or the regime supporters that were like kind of had their own beliefs or criticisms of this. But what have you been seeing from people in Iran or in the Iranian community that support this?
Yeah, so a lot of people are, if because this was not an act of protests that was planned ahead of time, right? So a lot of Iranians consider some, more leftist Iranians, maybe in Europe, who take off their clothes as an act of protest. They don't like that. They think that many of them they don't like that. Okay, it's looked down upon as not a legitimate act of protest. Okay, they make fun of it. They also ask them not to do that. You're ruining our opposition. You're making us look bad. Okay, but for this, they did the same people who criticized that. They had a very positive reaction towards this girl because they don't think like she was like going naked. Like this was not a pre-plan that, hey, look at me, I'm naked, therefore pay attention to my act of protest, right? To them, again, I'm not judging myself, I'm just telling you what other people are saying, right? To them, this was a girl that wasn't planning on getting naked, but she had it, she basically got to the point that just spontaneously were like, okay, you're worried about my hijab, I will show you, like, fuck you, let me, like, this was basically a very aggressive fuck you to the people who were harassing her, and it was spontaneous, it was in the moment. It's not an attention seeking attempt or something like that. It was just somebody that just had enough. So that's because it's being seen like that. This, taking off clothes this way is now being received very positively by most of the opposition, unlike the other acts of, nudity as a form of protest.
Mhm. Yeah, I think
Does that make
I think
sense?
that's really interesting. And one thing that's important to highlight is that, based on information that I'm getting, that they are basically saying that she had a mental breakdown and that they're putting her in psychiatric care and all this stuff. And I just want to highlight that
Oh
the
yeah.
Islamic Republic has a history of involuntary psychiatric commitment, basically as a way to invalidate the defiance to the regime, as if the only reason why someone would have defiance to the regime is that they are mentally unwell and not in their best senses and not well, right? It's a tactic to specifically delegitimate opposition to their fascism. Um,
We have pro-government people coming out and putting out statements and warnings that if Israel wants to make you naked, remember Israel will also eliminate you once they're done with you. This is an official position.
what
So
is
they're
that?
like, hey guys, the next person that becomes naked because Israel is using you as a way to cause disruption in Iran, remember that Israel eventually will also treat you like garbage. Once they used you as their pawn, they will eliminate you. So this is an actual warning.
Okay.
This
Okay.
is
Okay. Can I can I share something that's kind of stupid? Um,
what good.
so when I saw this video, I I was like, "Oh my god, what's happening? Like this is wild." And for a second, I thought she had no shoes on, and I'm like, "Oh my god, this lady's got to be out of her mind. She's got no shoes on." And then I realized she does have shoes on. I'm like, "Oh no, she's fully in her senses."
Yeah, she is fully in her sense.
So
Yeah.
the idea of walking around the city streets barefoot is so viscerally disgusting to me after like 10 years of living in cities overrun with fentanyl addicts. It's so it makes me I can't deal with it. I can't deal with it. So then I'm like, "Oh, thank God she had her shoes on. Okay, everything's fine. Everything's fine." I don't know. I just thought that was like a stupid, funny little internal reaction I
Wait,
had for a second.
let
I'm
me
like, "Oh no,
actually
okay,
play
we're
this
good."
with audio. Hold on. Oh, this is the same video that I was talking about. She's saying, "Hey, Kalisham Kubaha," meaning that she has she has a good body. But this is not the full version of this video. This is the same video I was talking about. Okay, I want you to notice that a lot of men are not watching as much, or like looking a little bit and then looking the other way. But it's the women who are watching more. I think a lot of men in Iran are afraid to watch something like this. Look at the men are not watching. The women are all watching. So this guy just looked at. You can see it looked a little bit, but you can see it's the women who are directly looking at her. Woman. Look at this man is not what looking, but the women are all looking at his direction. See, I think the men are actually scared of looking. The men look, the men are not watching as much. But the women are just like no, the women are looking, the men are not looking as much, just like glancing a little bit and then looking the other way. I think they've been trained to be afraid of looking.
Lower your gaze, brother.
Keep that gaze down, boys. Yes. Yeah.
I mean, like, I don't blame the reactions. I've been in many scenarios in my life where I unexpectedly see public nudity in the middle of a city center, in many different cities across the world, by the way. And it's one of those situations where you're like, "Oh my god, like what's happening here?" And then you look and you're like, "Oh my, I feel shy. Like what is happening?" Uh,
All
yes, we're going to
right.
be following that case very closely because obviously it's very important that we keep an eye on what happens to this woman. Um, are there any other comments you want to
Wait.
highlight? Or what were the reactions on in the article?
Oh yeah, you're right. Actually, let's go back down here. Oh wait, I had
Oh yeah, I
another.
really
Oh,
like
this one. This is a good one. Look at this
yeah,
one.
that's a cool little animation. We and then scroll down a little bit, look at the reaction. This person disgusting girl.
Oh,
I hope they put her in a mental hospital and then prison so she can learn to cover herself. Disgusting. Okay.
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 Okay. So,
And
oh, this is
this was
Masih
from Masih
Ali.
Alinejad. basically, yeah, talking again about how she turned her body itself into a protest.
I really hope. I don't know what's gonna happen to her. I really hope she's. Oh wait, this is another. I haven't seen this direction. Hold on.
Okay, wait. As you play that, I'm gonna go heat up my heating pad for my pain. I'll be back.
Oh wait. Oh, you guys don't actually have the audio. Let me play this again.
سپیده رفته اونجا دهن سرویس بهتری زاویه رو داره محبول
So the girls are talking about I have the best angle. They're laughing and saying like, "Oh my god, I have the like." She said because they say one of their friends, Sepide, has gone from another direction and she's recording from another direction, and this other girl saying like, "Oh, Sepide is recording from there. She has the best angle." She's wondering. So another girl is wondering why the university security is not doing anything. It's because they have never seen anything like this and they don't know how to deal with this and they don't want to touch it. So I think this is the more complete version of the video that I just uploaded. So now she's saying like she has a good body. So maybe if we continue, this is going to be the video where she actually takes off her clothes completely. Susie, is this safe to play? Is this because this seems to be the one that I was talking about? Let me actually go forward and make sure, because on Twitter nudity is allowed, but on YouTube it's not. Let me just go forward and see if there's any nudity at some point. I want to make sure that I don't capture any nudity here. Okay. I think it's safe. Let's go forward. Let's go more. So I think they cut because it jumped. I think this is the part where she took off all her clothes, and that's why this part is cut. Yes, because they're saying, "Oh my god," in a much more aggressive way, and I think this is the part where she took off her entire clothes, and it's so small so you can't see anymore. Yeah, so she did take off her. This part was cut out. So you see how it jumped to all of a sudden her being far away. So she was closer. She took off her entire clothes, and now she's far away. So that's why we could show it, and that's why they sound a lot more shocked than before right now. See, they're saying my eyes. I cannot believe what's happening. You can see that they sound a lot more shocked, even though they already were talking about her in that previous clothing, without being this level of shock. They're saying shit. Shit apparently is the universal way of expressing. One of the girls is saying that they're asking me, like on social media, I think, what university do you go to? Like, we want to come to your university. Oh, this is the arrest.
You can't see it very well.
Yeah. This is the arrest. Hold on.
I watched it and I can't tell what's happening.
Yeah, hold on. The cars pull over.
بچه گرفتنش یا اول فصل یا خدا یا خدا دارم میگن تو ماشین میکنن دارن تو ماشینش میکنن یا خدا یا خدا یا خدا
You heard the audio, right?
I heard the Yahoda. I understood that.
بابا اونا
So we don't have a closer video, but some people claim that they saw it and it was really ugly the way it turned out. So they took her. So this was the last time we saw her. By the way, the way that these college girls are reacting is basically like how I expect college girls to react to anything. So you can see how universal the attitude is. Like, like college girls everywhere in the world are the same.
Well, what are they saying that makes you say that?
I don't know. There's just their attitude about it just seems like so stereotypical, you know, college girly. I don't know how to I don't know.
I think I get what you mean.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
girl, oh my god, oh my god.
I don't know how to. Yeah. Anyways, so we got some comments and some super chats.
Yeah. Oh,
this.
and Sarah brought up something that's very important. And that there was another young girl the same week. Actually, there were two. There have been in the same week. There was the thing that happened with this woman. Then there since then have been two self deletions.
Yes.
Two
yes.
self deletions of young teenage
yeah.
girls because they were being harassed by their schools for their clothing and hijab enforcement. And this one girl that Sarah is talking about, and obviously, like, we can't show pictures, we can't show videos at all. Literally threw herself off a building. And what's so sad about that particular girl,
Okay.
her name is Arezu.
You should warn people.
Yeah.
Okay.
She was an Afghan girl that came to Iran after fleeing the Taliban, I believe. And you know, just met with the same tyranny and harassment. Yeah. And then so that was another huge case that happened like a few days after this incident happened. And then just a few days later, there was another young girl that did a self-deletion. So it's
can
really...
I just mention to Sarah how much I appreciate you guys knowing about these things and following this. I mean, we have an Israeli-American woman who knows about this in Iran. Like, I really appreciate you guys, you know, knowing these things and, you know, trying to be aware of it. I don't know how to express how grateful I am to you guys. Yeah. Anyways. You're muted.
I don't know how to pronounce this person's name, but when you were talking about the conspiracy that this is an Israeli plant, they said, oopsie, they're on to us. Let's go back to falafel.
By the way, guys, I just want to make sure that some people think like, oh my God, why are you guys making joke about stuff like this? This is horrible. This is terrifying. You know, guys, to be able to consume this much darkness, we need humor, or else we're going to quit following shit like this. Okay, we do need some humor next to all of this fucking shit, or else we're just going to give up. We're just going to stop following. So that's the purpose of the humor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gajan sent a super chat. Thank you, my friend, saying UK has two-tiered policing. The CPC has facial recognition, public shaming, LED billboards. Is there a nation that has the right amount? I'm assuming like the right amount of enforcement or policing, law enforcement, etc. I mean, that's a big question. I don't know. It really depends on your philosophy about state monopoly on violence and government intervention.
Okay, I'm just going to quickly answer. There is no such thing as the right amount. Let me teach
Yeah.
you a lesson about liberalism. Liberalism is the idea that for every society, the right amount will be found in a fair competition between different interest groups. Okay, it's a more organic process. So you try to take the most advantage of the spontaneous force in a free society, and different groups will compete with each other for what they think is the best, and that answer is your answer. There is no one answer. That's the whole point of liberalism, to create a Darwinian model to take advantage of the emergent property of the freedom within a society to come up with an answer that is best for that society.
We got another super chat by Inball Cats saying, a little behind, you should clip Susanna's election take with a link to GoFundMe as a standalone video. People's take on the election is mental. Do you think we should do that, Armin?
You should clip. Yes. Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, that's a really good idea. I think we should get ask Dolly to clip that part out. Yes. Yes.
And
In
don't
fact,
worry, guys. I will come out with plenty of more opinions because I got a lot of them. I could go talk about the 4B movement that we got going on for about 25 minutes, but we got a show to do.
in fact, I would like to say that I think every Susie rant should become its own video. I think the Dolly. I don't know if Dolly is going to see this part or not, but I'm going to tell her that. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, and Kenny gifted 5 Atheist Republic memberships. Thank you so much, Kenny, which is an amazing reminder that if you guys want to support this show, you want to support everything that we do, because it is not just me and Armin. We have a full team. We have multiple channels and multiple languages, including, we talk a lot about the problem of Islamism over here. Okay, we're taking it to the heartland. Okay, we're spreading. We're corrupting the land with liberalism, okay, in the Iranian sphere. If you want to be part of that operation, support Atheist Republic, and super chats and donating via PayPal and supporting us on Patreon and memberships on YouTube is how you keep us going. This is how you help us spread corruption in the land. Thank you, everyone. Dan Dave.
We should have, guys, once I have more time, I'm going to design 2 shirts on our store. One with regards to the Qarqad tree. I'm going to call it the Qarqad Defense Force, and then put a tree design, right? And one is spreading corruption in the land, something regarding that. I don't know what design to match with spreading corruption in the land, but something with regards to that. So these are shirts I'm going to be working on, and I'm going to make it available at some point.
That'd be cool. Dan gave a super chat saying, hey, Armin, do you know Salman Sima? He's an Iranian Canadian activist. I met him yesterday at the Indian Heritage event. He, like you, is one of the bravest men in Canada. The event had heavy security due to the threats of Khalistanis. I've never met him, but I follow his work. Seems like a pretty cool guy.
He hates me.
Why?
Because of my criticisms of Trump. So he doesn't like me. He thinks like, because I'm a liberal, right? He confused my positions with wokeism, like some people here in the live chat. I don't know. Maybe now he has a different opinion on me. I would welcome him, but he was more right-leaning than me, more conservative, and he took my positions and some of my criticism for Trump as being a wokeistani. So that's why he didn't like me. He was, so that's why.
Well, damn. I think that's a missed opportunity. Salman Jun. Okay, it's not what you think.
Yeah.
So Sarah is saying, you guys are so helpful in educating us all. Well, thank you, Sarah. Thank you for being part of the AR team. Thank you to all our volunteers like Kenny, like Dee. You guys put in so much work, and it really is the most important gift that people can give us, is their time. I respect it so much. Dan gave another super chat saying Indians, Russians, and Israelis celebrating the Trump win. I didn't know that there was a lot of Russian celebration. I mean,
wait, Russian celebration? Of course there would be Russian celebration.
no, see, I'm not comfortable with that.
Yeah, that's the most. They are the main people who are celebrating this because, like, outside of the United States, because of the lack of support for Ukraine and shit. So
Yeah,
that's guys. Like, I'm not gonna go. Yeah, that's one. I agree with that criticism. Against, I don't know if Salman, for example, would disagree with my criticism, but I really do disagree with the Trumpist position of not supporting Ukraine. So if that makes me, I don't know, a leftist wookie person, I don't know. But anyway, I am completely. I didn't cut my relationship with him. He was the one who went against me, right? I am completely okay with having relationship with people who we have disagreements with. And so we don't have to agree on everything for us to be able to work with each other. So I'm I'm completely open to being friends with the guy if he would have me.
And I bet when it came to Canadian politics, the two of you would probably be like very highly aligned. Just a guess.
Oh yeah, Canadian politics. I think we would be. I mean, here's the thing. Here's an interesting thing with the Salman guy. I would probably agree with him on Canadian politics. I would agree with him on Israel. I would agree with him on support for Reza Pahlavi. I would agree with him with probably most things Iranian related. So the list of agreements there is like 95%. So it's weird that somebody would get like completely abandon me and get rid of me because some disagreements, again, not all, but some disagreements in Trump, we have like 95% agreements. Like, is that really like what? Like, should I align with you like 100% for me to be like, that's just weird.
And you're not even like a TDS type of person.
No.
It's like, no, I like have a criticism of his foreign policy like any given politician. Like,
here's the thing. I think the elections were not stolen. Okay, that's the main. So yeah, so that's the thing that is like that made a lot of these people angry. I think that it was not a conspiracy. Like the government, the election results were Biden actually won the election. That's what I think. So that's the main thing that they don't like. They didn't like.
I'm really hoping that now that Trump won the election fair and square, people will stop pushing that.
Yeah.
They're like, wait, oh my God, maybe democracy does exist.
Yeah. Last time Biden won, he actually did win, and this time Trump actually won. Okay, he won both the. He actually won the popular vote as well, fair and square. So there you go. So the system actually works.
Yeah, I hope that like helps a lot of people calm down with that BS, and I hope they don't turn into like basically like the I don't know what you call it, like the Shiites, where they're like, okay, Ali became the caliph later, but that one time it was still stolen from him, and like it's just they never live it down.
I don't know what they're gonna say. They're gonna be like, oh, this time maybe because January 6th we made it so that they are afraid of stealing the election again. If I was a conspiracy theorist, that's what I would say. Like, oh, they would steal it again if they could, but they won't.
Okay,
anyway.
buddy.
Okay. So, guys, this is why, our channel should be supported. Okay, because we don't go too crazy on any side. Okay, we don't go crazy on the Wokistani side, and we also don't go on the side of, oh my God, the elections were stolen, into conspiracy theories. We don't become like full on. I think this is a good channel. We hit a good balance. I'm not saying that we get everything right. Of course we don't. Sometimes we get things wrong, but you can see that we're not tribal. We genuinely are trying to figure out. Susie and I and Dee and Dolly and the rest of the team is genuinely trying to figure out what is actually correct rather than trying to give in to a tribe on one side.
Yeah. And I've changed my opinions a lot because I take that seriously.
Yeah.
And we tried to model on this channel that it's actually pretty cool to say that you were wrong.
Do you know who makes the most amazing, gorgeous, and other adjectives that I can't use here on YouTube, blasphemous art ever? We do! And for some reason, we are giving it away for free. Download them now using the link in the description before we change our mind.